opportunity for organizations, large and small, to look back on their major achievements, milestones and groundbreaking accomplishments. In keeping with tradition, here at GRTS, we give the different ministries the chance to share with the populace those feats. With me in the studio to introduce those stories is told by those accredited with those behind-the-scenes efforts leading to those accomplishments is Abubakar Dabo, and I am Aji Amisise.
In 2011, just like any other year, the 48 men and women assigned the responsibility of watching over the executive and drafting laws to better safeguard the interests of the masses enacted a number of crucial pieces of legislation, all geared towards entrenching the twin principles of good governance and democracy. Babakar Kamara has more on what was an engaging year for National Assembly members.
Our mandate is to scrutinize for them. Our mandate is to discuss with government, the executive particularly, so that we give advice to what goes on every other day.
They constitute a tripartite arm of any government that recognizes its sovereignty as a secular state. They represent views and aspirations of the people in the democratization process. They are 53 in number, representing the 48 demarcated constituent boundaries of the country, and 5 of its members duly nominated by the President of the Republic. This is the composition of the Gambia National Assembly.
We are the mouthpieces of the poor people who elected and sent us to this august institution. So when we talk about their welfare, we mean democracy has to reign above them. We have to serve them as people who sent the entire government to serve them in taking care of their welfare generally.
2011 legislative session started flowing state opening of parliament by President Jammeh, officially marking parliamentary proceedings and allowing the President to outline his yearly development plans and objectives.
It is my pleasure to once again address this August gathering on the occasion of the state opening of the National Assembly, marking the beginning of the legislative year.
Motion, bills and agreements were moved, passed and ratified by lawmakers to consider the diminishing returns in economic development initiated at a time of increasing global economic challenges, a factor considered by the finance minister as misplaced priorities on the verge to be succeeded by a new program.
We went through difficult times, but hardly did an average Gambian know about this, because we had the necessary expertise and commitment on the ground.
Somehow our development priorities have been mixed, confused in the sense that in a nutshell we were putting the cart before the horse. He's saying, let's go back to the land. Let us do something that we are good at. And the whole thing is agriculture and tourism. But agriculture is the priority. It is very, very clear. We have been able to double the agriculture budget by 100%.
And we are talking at a time when governments that we thought we are the strongest in the world are facing downgrading of their credit ratings.
Bills passed focus on tax reform systems and improvement of security to combat drug trafficking and maintaining the rule of law and order, while public infrastructure and livelihood improvement projects were dominant issues that form part of the adjournment debates.
Now that the rain season is over and the construction stops at Mayock, the Minister of Works and of course the entire government should look into this matter, take it up as a matter of urgency, because the funding of this road has been secured and a contractor should be arranged to make sure that this very important road to be constructed.
Amongst the achievements of legislature include a digital recording system for proceedings of the National Assembly and a multi-million-dollar project at an advanced stage. Towards the tail end of the year, the mood was somber. The late Deputy Minister of Agriculture and renowned Pan-African parliamentarian Khalifa Kambi, who died at 56 years, was given a statement presided by Vice President Jai Said and Speaker of the National Assembly.
Here lies a man who has served his God and humanity with abnegation. He has helped to create monuments by whom he will be survived.
On behalf of His Excellency the President, the entire government, and by extension all Gambian people, because he served the whole of Gambia as Deputy Minister, I want to extend my condolences to all of us, because everybody in one way or the other has lost.
The 2011 legislative year have registered remarkable achievements by the legislature, showing government efforts to improve program sectors that are likely to encourage employment opportunities for the attainment of MDGs and Vision 2020. Babakar Kamara, GRTS.
The pilot phase of an intervention dubbed Sustainable Agriculture Project, funded by the Food and Agriculture Organization, is changing lives and enhancing the living standards of a good number of farmers in the country's Central River region. The local fish farming project, coordinated by the Directorate of Fisheries at the Ministry of Fisheries, Water Resources and National Assembly Matters, is helping to ensure access to relatively cheap protein while increasing household income for scores of farmers in rural Gambia. We have more on what is a novel idea in the Gambia in this piece by my co-presenter Abubakar Dabo.
A $408,000 sustainable aquaculture pilot project is exceedingly changing the lives of hordes of men and women in rural Gambia. The spontaneous outpouring of enthusiasm is anchored on the desire to make life a comfortable one in this part of the country. As a domestic initiative, this fish rearing venture is coordinated by the Fisheries Department of the Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources as one of its principal community-based undertakings to boost household income and nutrient, while at the same time preserve the country's heavily exploited river stock of fish variety. Lamin Kababajo is the minister overseeing the Fisheries Ministry and had witnessed firsthand the formal scoop harvesting exercise of the 20 ponds sunk in the Central River settlement of Sapo.
What I saw has really surpassed my expectation in terms of the enthusiasm of the farmers themselves and their capacity to do the harvesting themselves, and the amount of knowledge that we are able to acquire within this short period of time and, concerning the project. And also the catch, really the amount of catch we realized that they really now understood was one of the smallest they had gained from one single pond.
His expectations as the minister during the harvesting exercise has much been surpassed, as the catch for this morning alone has proved ample case that replication is no more an alternative. Minister Bajo delved into further steps of this project, which includes transferring what he calls the poverty alleviation techniques to other parts of the country, but added that for the enterprise to have that lucrative phase, more private sector involvement is essential.
We are also encouraging the private sector to come in. We have a few private sector operators, and then we want to work with them so that they can increase their production, and we'll provide them with the technical assistance, the expertise.
Fish harvesting in these ponds could be an amazing and intriguing episode for first-time observers, but with the technical expertise from Taiwan's Technical Cooperation Program and the South-South Cooperation, local ingenuity could be spotted in great style and in utmost delight. The Director of Fisheries, Famara Damfa, explained that the pilot project funded by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations will be implemented on a sustainable basis, and that additional 30 ponds are already sunk to increase and improve on productivity and output.
In the first time we are doing aquaculture, we are using we are pumping water. But now we are doing tidal aquaculture, where you know that you don't need any machine.